for later, but I challenge you, don't wait for the recording. Take notes now. So when you go back to the recording, it'll double sync it in. So if you hear something, take a note. You can take pictures, screenshots, or whatever as you go through this. That'll really, really help. Um, do that. So if you need to take a picture of a slide, by all means, do that. So let me do a screen share and we can get going. We can get going. We can get going. And let's see, slideshow. Hold on, let me try that again. I messed something up. Okay, got that open. Share, share. There we go.
Come on in or go out.
All right. So a trading plan, and this is just like I said, I was going through this in my head, thinking about what is a trading plan. And when you're setting up and making a trading plan, you should have some type of goal. Do you have a 90-day plan? Do you have a 6-month plan? Do you have a 1, 3, 5 year plan? What is your overall plan? Like what is your plan for trading? Next slide. Why are you trading? Right? This is a question. Why are you trading? Is it to add extra income? Is it as a full-time career or is it just a hobby? Right? Are you doing this just because one of your friends got you here and you like hanging out with cool people like Martin and Jacques? Right? Or are you actually here to turn this into a skill set so that you can use this anytime you want to make money? Right? And however long that takes you, that's fine. So again, is it a 90-day plan? Is it a 1 year plan? Is it a 5 year plan? What is your overall plan for trading? And be honest, right? Be honest with yourself. There's nothing wrong with being honest. You don't need to show up to try and impress Forrest. You don't need to show up to try and impress anybody. The only person you need to try and impress is you, right? The only person you need to compare yourself to is you. Are you doing a little bit better today than you did yesterday? Doesn't matter what Forrest is doing. It doesn't matter what Martin is doing. It doesn't matter what Deborah is doing. But what are you doing today to be a little bit better than you were yesterday? That's it. That's the only person you should be comparing yourself to. And if you believe in the God that I believe in, then you can ask him for a little help. All right. So whatever needs to get you to that next level, keep pushing forward. So again, what are you trading? Right? Are you trading stock options? Are you trading Forex? Are you trading indices? Are you trading metals? Are you trading crypto? And then inside of that, and if you've been around me long enough, if you're a beginner, right, if you're a beginning trader, you shouldn't be focusing on anything more than one, right? One thing. You don't want to try to trade crypto and Forex and all this other stuff all at the same time. If you're going to trade an index, right, a US 30, a NAS 100, an S&P, pick one of those indices. Don't try to trade all, there's 100 of them, I think. There's a lot of them. Don't try to trade all of them at once because you will get your butt kicked being brand new trying to trade all those. Pick one thing. Also in indices, if you're brand new, I'm just going to throw in my opinion. I would stay away from them bad boys because they're big boy products and big girl products, right? If you're brand new indices, now you can practice with them until you get to the point where you get enough. If you are going to open an indices account and you decide to trade those, you're going to need a nice substantial amount of money to do that. At least I would recommend at least a minimum of 3 grand if you're going to try to trade indices before you trade them live, because you need to give yourself room for leverage. Anyway, don't let me get on that. What ticker are you trading? Are you trading QQQ? If you're trading stock options, are you trading SPY? Are you trading Microsoft? Are you trading Tesla? Are you trading SPX? I think it was Bawalia brought up and I said, boy, I thought I saw her pop on here. She brought up a Tesla ticker, which was a TSLL, I believe, which was sort of like a SPY
Yes,
version
yes, it was.
of, yep, TSLL, which was like a SPY version of SPX compared to Tesla, which I thought was pretty neat. So again, doing your homework on whatever you're trading. If you're trading Forex, right? What is your pair, right? In Forex, there's always another pair that you can trade that are synergistic. They both do the same thing, right? If one's going up, the other one's going up. If one's going down, the other one's going down. So a lot of times you can double dip on those. You can trade both pairs at the same time if you have that skill set built in. So what are you trading, right? If you're trading crypto, What coin are you trading? Bitcoin, Ethereum? Are you trading altcoins? Are you trading boutique coins? What type of coin are you trading? And it doesn't matter what you trade. When you guys understand this, the basics are the basics are the basics. If you're trading crypto, guess what? It goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways. It don't go backwards. It goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways. Now, sometimes some of it's up straight up. Sometimes some of it's up's about a 215, right? 3 o'clock would be sideways, but a 215 is still up, right? Same thing on a downward trend. 4 o'clock is down, 5 o'clock is down, 6 o'clock is down, right? So understanding what are you trading is Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin is, I think it just, did it go over 85,000 already? It's just taken off like crazy, 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 crazy. So are you trading that? Are you trading Ethereum? Ethereum, I think, is up to like 3,500 a coin right now. It's just crazy. So is that something you're trading? Is it something you're investing in? You need to understand what you're trading and then go back to why are you trading this? Are you making this a full lifestyle? What is your trading plan? I'm not talking about just when you're going to sit down in front of your computer, but what is your overall plan? What is your overall mission? What is your overall goal for trading? And that should be something you're thinking about, right? Again, be honest and don't compare. And there's a reason I stuck these on here, so I want you guys to do that. What time are you trading? What time are you trading? Time of day are you committing to be in front of your computer? Totally up to you. Not what time Forrest is going to be in front of his computer. What time are you trading from? Or is it from 9:15 to 10:15? Is it 9:15 to 11:15? If you're at work during the day, how are you going to put your trading plan in and around your working hours? You're going to have to find something you can trade either before you go to work or after you get home from work. That's going to take some homework to figure out what that is because, again, the basics are the basics. When you learn the basics of trading, you just have to have a trading plan when you can go put yourself in front of that money and stick to it, right? So, what days are you going to trade? Are you going to trade Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Are you going to trade on the weekends because you're doing crypto? So, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. When are you going to trade? Maybe you're going to trade US 30 because US 30 goes live at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time on Sunday night. So maybe you're going to trade Sunday night from 6 to 10 and see if you can get your money in then. Whatever it is, that's your trading plan. You've got to figure it out and then you've got to stick to it. Saying that is back testing, right? Back testing when is the best time to trade while you're trading. And I didn't put that on the slide, but you can write that in there. Back testing. When is my ticker? When is my product? When is it going to give me the optimum time to maximize my income? And am I available at that time to trade that? Right? Am I available at that time to trade that? If it moves big time between, say, 1:30 and 2:30 in the afternoon, but you're sitting in front of your desk at work, no, you can't put that on your trading plan. You can't fly by the seat of your pants. Now, if you can take a lunch break, maybe, right? Is that going to work? I don't know. It's your plan, right? What is your goal, right? Your winning goal. What is your goal for winning? Do you have a daily earning dollar amount or percentage amount, right? What are you earning daily? Is it going to be a percent of your balance? Or is it going to be a daily income goal? In other words, I usually go off a dollar amount. I believe Martin works off of a percentage of daily based on his balance. There's no wrong answer. Just whatever it is, you got to put it down and stick to it. What is your weekly earning goal and what is your percentage? I would recommend working backwards. Let's say your weekly goal is $1,000 and you're going to trade on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. How much money do you have to make each day to hit that $1,000? $333.99, right? You're going to have to make that amount of money every single day that you trade. What is that in a percentage wise? If that's going to be percentage of your balance, how are you going to make that all work? Right? How is that going to work for you? So you need to make sure you understand that. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I've covered so far? Okay, I'm going to keep going. Loss per trade. How much are you willing to lose? And now this is a little bit hard. When you have an A personality and you don't like to lose, you've got to have a daily goal. You can either set a manual, you can either set an automatic stop loss when you're trading, especially in Forex, especially if you're trading indices, unless you've got a big extra two or $300,000 just sitting around and you're okay, you need to have a stop loss set. Is it going to be a 5% of my balance? Is it going to be a dollar percent of my balance? How much am I willing to lose per trade when I'm trading, right? And when it hits that number, I close my trade. Either have it set on automatic or you're going to do it manually, right? And that's a lot of that's going to be depending when we're going to talk about it, what type of trader you are, and we're going to get there, right? So loss per trade, is it a total weekly loss? Is it a total daily loss? What are you willing to lose on each individual trade? Milestones. And this is something that I did way back when, geez, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I made a deal with myself. I made an agreement with myself that when I went live, and I practiced this on my demo account, right? Practiced this on my demo account. I had a demo account for 18 months before I went live. And the reason I keep sharing that with you guys is because I don't want you to rush yourself and think, I've been doing this for 6 months and I still haven't figured it out. Good for you. Do it 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, 11 months, 12. Do it as long as it freaking takes for you to make it work for you so you can change your income lifestyle, right? Take as long as you need to take. Nobody's going to put up on a billboard on the side of the highway that says, can you believe the Boya Desmond's been learning to trade for 2.5 years and she still stinks at it? Nobody's going to do that, right? Nobody's going to do that. So you make sure that you figure out how long it's going to take you to get to where you need to get and practice, practice, practice. So when I opened my live account back in 2 years ago, my goal was to get $25 per trade for 30 trades. And it wasn't just 30 trades. It was, I had to have 30 winning trades at 25 trades. And I want to say it took me about 40-ish, 42, 43 trades or something to get those 25, 30, $25 trades. It took a while, but I learned a lesson through that. I learned how to lose and not freak out. And that's very, very important that you need to, again, be honest with yourself and don't compare yourself with anybody else. There's sort of a theme here. Going live, right? What are your demo account goals, right? How many demo wins do I need before I go live? And then my mindset. Is my mindset right? When I hit the live button, am I doing it out of I feel like I'm not far enough ahead, or am I doing it because I'm 1,000% confident because I've practiced with my demo account? I'm not going to change my trading plan. I'm not going to change my processes for entries and exits. I'm not going to change any of that stuff. And knowing in the back of my heart, if I have a day where I just don't feel like trading, I'm going to be okay with not trading on that day. Do you have your mindset right to go live? So when you open that live account with whatever balance you open it with, still going to be a little bit scary. I'm not saying that, but when you open that live account, if you stick to what you learned when you're practicing on your demo account, you're going to get the same results. You have to, unless you change something mentally, you change a process, you do something different, right? So you got to make sure that when you trade live with your demo account, you treat it like a live account. Don't just be a cowboy and just go out there, oops, going to push the button and see what happens. Now, I actually teach you guys and recommend that you guys push the button to see what happens, but that's to learn how the software works, not to learn how to trade, right? Two different things. When I say push the button to see what happens, that's to learn the software, right? That is to learn that, okay, my entry is going to be here. I'm going to do a put. I'm going to push this button and see what happens. I'm going to run it to this area and I'm going to push the button and see what happens again. That's just connecting the dots. It's like driving a car. The only way you're going to learn how to drive a car is get out of the instructing manual and go sit in the car, put the keys in it, put your foot on the brake, start the car, put it in reverse, back out of the parking spot, and then drive down the road, right? But in the meantime, you still got to practice. You're going to practice in a parking lot without any other cars around, right? Before you get on the road and you start running into people. So very, very important that you understand your mindset is right and you're ready to go. Will my live account opening balance be what I've practiced with in my demo? If you're brand new and you don't have $100,000, don't practice with $100,000, right? If you know that you've got an extra three or four, $500 sitting around, understand, and if you, again, I'm gonna go back to saying this. If you're gonna open your live trading account now on stock options, $500 is fine. You'll be fine all day long opening with a $500 account, right? as long as you're not trading like SPX. If you're trading something else like SPY or QQQ or Tesla's little brother TSLL or something like that that's very conservative, you'll be fine with $500, right? So understand how much money are you going to open your trading account with. This is all part of your trading plan. You need to have a plan written down so this is all put together so you're not flying by the seat of your pants, right? So what did you practice with in your demo? If you don't know how to adjust your balance, if you're in stock options, reach out to support and say, hey, I need to adjust my paper trading account down to X amount of dollars, right? I need to adjust my paper trading account down to X amount of dollars. Just tell them and they can go in and adjust it for you. If you don't know how to do it yourself, ask support. They're great at helping you. On the Forex side, I believe most brokers, you can actually go in and you can set up a demo account and you can put in the amount that you want to trade with. A lot of times, I know some brokers have like a minimum of 3,000. Try to get as close to the actual dollar amount that you would put in there and practice with that on your Forex account. Same thing on your crypto accounts. When you're practicing on your demo accounts, make sure that you're practicing with a dollar amount that's as close as possible to what you're actually trading with. Cool? So now we're going to get into talking about entry strategies. Does anybody have any questions about anything I've shared so far? Any thoughts, any inputs? All right. So we'll do a deep dive on questions here at the end. No problem at all. So entry strategy. What style of trader are you? And there's no wrong answer to this, right? Are you a scalper? Are you an intraday trader? Are you a swing trader? There's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer. Whatever style you choose to be, and you can change later. You don't have to, maybe right now you want to scalp so you can build up a big account. Like, okay, I got the scalping thing down. Now you got a big fat stack. Now I think I'm going to look at learning how to do intraday trades where I can look at higher time frame trades and I can get in on a Monday morning and maybe get out on a Monday afternoon, right? Or maybe think about swing trades like, whew, I got me a nice big stack. Now I can look at leveraging more money and I can have a larger trailing stop loss and I can adjust my mindset and I can change my goals and I can change my plan and I can get in on a Monday and maybe get out on a Thursday, right? Based on the news and what's coming up and so on and so forth. So there's no wrong answer to what style of trader you are. I consider myself a scalper. I basically trade and get in and get out within my 2 hour trading window. I want to get in and get out as fast as I can. I don't want to sit in front of my computer all day. Now, there's been a few trades where I've seen it and I'm like, oh, I'm going to get in here. I'm going to enter here. I'm going to let it run to here. Might take a few hours, but I still consider myself a style of a scalper. I don't want to be here all day, right? Again, that's my trading plan. It doesn't have to be yours, right? Pick yours out that's going to work for you. Be honest. Don't compare, right? Entry methods, right? And I just listed a few that we've talked here. If you haven't seen the video on entry methods and you have been enrolled into economy for any length of time, more than 20 days or so, it's either you're not watching the training videos, I'm picking on you a little bit, you're not watching the training videos, or you're skipping steps. There's a very, very good video that's called Entry Methods. I would highly recommend, especially if you're trading stock, well, just if you're trading anything at all, I would go watch it. Because once I learned these few little steps right here, it truly changed my mindset and when I get into a trade. It makes a huge difference when you know how to get into a trade, when you know when to get into a trade. When you know when to get into a trade, it will change your success rate by a bunch. Does anybody on here agree with me? If you agree, say, I agree. Martin raised his hand,
I agree.
right?
I agree.
Ah,
I agree.
Carlotta, oh yeah. So that's a fact. Once you know when to get in, that's like 99% of the battle. The other percent of the battle, we're going to talk about this. When you get in, it's going to be based on some type of strategy, your entry method. Am I going to use a break and retest? A break and close? Am I going to use a VWAP as my tool to decide whether or not I'm going to get in? Do I have some type of other strategy? Do I phone a friend and then spin my Rubik's cube and shake it and see what it tells me to do? And I'm being serious. Whatever your entry method is, you've got to master that entry method, right? I'm a combination between a break and close and a break and retest, and it just depends on what price is doing. But I've pretty much mastered both, and I know which one is. I love breaks and closes. Those all day long being a scalper. I'm like, I want to get in, I want to get out, right? Again, that's something that I chose to do. You can choose to do whatever, but you need to know the difference between a break and close and a break and retest. There's a huge difference between those two, right? So be honest, don't compare. Your entry process. So he's talked about that. So I'm using an entry method of style, but then I have a process. What is my process based on price action? Where am I getting in? Am I getting at it in a zone, a previous day high, a previous day low? Am I using Jess's trade ideas? Am I looking at the 1 minute, the 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, the 1 hour, the weekly? How am I deciding my entry method, right? The process we stopped. Am I breaking and closing on the 15 minute? Am I breaking and closing on the 5 minute? Am I breaking and closing on the 1 minute? What am I doing for this? Right? I just talked to you guys, I think a couple of days ago, and I realized that once I actually set up my entry and then I zoom out to the 1 hour and the 30 minute, it puts me in like the calmest mode because the 1 minute is like, the 1 hour is like, it's just different. It's and I can watch that 1 hour move and I can look at the overall move and I'm like, oh, because there's a lot of noise on the 1 minute. It's going up and down. Oh no, it's going down. Ooh, panic. Oh, no, right? Anybody ever felt like that? You're like, oh, I got a 30-second candle going together, closing. I'm like, dang, why did I close that? What's wrong with me? Why can't I stand the trade longer? I got this habit of just getting out and closing to her. Has anybody ever said done that? Yes.
Yes,
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 we have. And
definitely.
if we get good at our trading process and our entry methods, then we'll figure out our exit method, which we're going to talk about here next. So our entry methods, when am I getting into a trade? What am I looking for? Am I looking at my price? Am I looking at a spinning top, uh, 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 a long-legged doji? Am I looking at a hanging man? Am I looking at an inverted hammer? What am I looking for? Right? Am I doing a break and close and waiting for two extra candles on the 1 minute to break my zone before I get in? What are you looking for? And you need to write it down, put a freaking circle around it, put sticky notes up, put it on the inside of your glasses so you don't do anything different. Now, said that to say this, it's okay to color outside the line sometimes, right? Because we know price action isn't perfect, right? There might be a zone that we're waiting for price to come down to, and it just comes down to that zone and just sort of pauses. You ever get there? It comes down just like, just hangs out. Like it comes out like psych, ha ha. And then it goes into some consolidation and you're just waiting for it to consolidate. And then you see that one candle that starts to like take off. You're like, okay, there it goes. Bam, I'm in. Right? If you watch it enough and you practice your ticker or your pair or your indice or whatever you're trading, you watch it enough, you'll be able to know when the cha-cha-cha turns into a rumba, right? You're going to see it move and you're going to be able to get in. You're going to be able to execute that. Give yourself grace and time to figure that stuff out. The only way you're going to figure that out is you have to show up in your trading plan when you freaking said you're going to show up. If you're going to trade Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, be in front of your computer on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then back test Monday and Tuesday just to look at your pair to see what it does. So you get a real good idea on what it does. Martin did a really good job of back testing all his stuff. Kudos to him and got it all on a spreadsheet. It's all beautiful and sexy and stuff. That works for him. That's part of his trading plan, as part of his trading strategy. He mapped that out. So whatever you need to do to log it, journal it, put it down, and do that, I'd highly recommend you do that. Exit strategy. This is always the fun part, right? When are you going to close your trade? When are you going to get out of the trade? Are you going to enter at a previous day low and take it down to a previous weekly low? Whatever your zone is, are you going from zone to zone? When are you trading? When are you getting in to trade? When are you getting out of the trade? Right? Maybe it's an income goal, right? I want to make, as soon as I make $25, boom, I'm closing my trade, I'm out. And you're good. You got to be okay with that because, like this last week on SPX, I reached my income goal in like literally 72 seconds, but the trade kept going and going and going and going all the way down to the zone that I said it was going to go to, right? So my goal was either income or zone, whichever one happened first, right? That's my trading plan. Income or zone, whichever happens, because sometimes the zones are really short, right? On election day, all right, I got to share this with you guys because this was a crazy day. On election day, I just had to trade. There was a real nice move in there, but when I hit the go button, one is the price of SPX was like a $500 per contract. I was like, that's a lot. That's big money. So I, instead of doing 4 contracts, I went to 2. I said, that'll be cool. I hit the go button and immediately was negative $1,100. Immediately, like, I started at negative 1,100 because the margin was so mega. And I picked my zone. I said, okay, I'm going to here. Just like I said, it's either income goal or zone goal, right? Sticking to my plan. I got all the way to my zone and it ended up still being at 280 negative. So what did I do? As I closed the trade, because that was my plan. I wasn't planning on losing 280. It was either income goal or zone goal, right? It wasn't, I'm going to stay in this trade until I make my, it was income goal or zone goal. It hit my zone, I closed the trade, and that was the only losing trade that I've had in like 35 trades, right? So again, it's because, and I'm not saying that to brag, you guys, I'm saying that because when you become meticulous and data driven and you're looking at your process and you're doing the same stuff over and over, I guarantee you that Elon Musk, I think he just said he paid $80 billion in taxes, some straight 80 million, some kind of ridiculous number. It was stupid, stupid number in taxes. And I'll bet you 10 times to the dollar, he's very meticulous and rigid on his processes of his success. He does the same stuff over and over and over and over, and he's not scared of anyone, right? He's like the richest man on the planet. He's not scaredy cats of anyone. Why? Because he knows his process works. You can't say anything to him like, look, I'm the smartest man, I'm the richest man on the planet, and you're trying to give me advice. Why don't you listen to what I'm doing so you can make money too? And it's not to brag, but it's, do you have a process in place that's going to guarantee you a high win rate, success rate? Because you've back tested, because you've shown up every day, because you have a trading plan and you have a process and you're not flying by the seat of your pants, just getting up in the morning and saying, oh, I think that looks good. I'm going to get in here and I'm going to, no. Again, sometimes in the beginning, you need to push buttons just to get an idea on how everything works, right? But there's going to be a point where you need to start working in and honing in on your process so that you say, this is my entry method. I'm going to learn how to break and retest works. If I have to watch the video 60, 100 times, and if I have to take the trade 60, 100 times, whatever it is, I'm going to figure out how to best optimize a break and retest. I'm going to figure out how to optimize a break and close. I'm going to learn how to use the VWAP. I'm going to understand price action and understand the difference between a spinning top and an inverted hammer. If I see a spinning top and an inverted hammer and a long-legged doji at a support, what does that mean? It means freaking price is getting ready to go the other way, right? And what time frame am I on? Does that happen on the 1 hour? Does it happen on the 15-minute? If I'm on the 1 minute, does it have as much effect? When I'm looking at the 1 minute and I see those 3 candles, am I automatically going up to the 5 minute to look for a funky candle? Am I going up to the 15 minutes to see if there's another funky candle? Am I going up to the 1 hour to see if there's still a funky candle? Right? If that is, then I'm definitely got a price direction change, right? Sometimes there's flagmen standing out on the highway saying accident ahead, and you're just like, oh, then there's the arrow flashing to tell you to change lanes. You're like, oh, I'm still, and then you wait till the very last minute to get over, and you have an accident, right? Because you're not paying attention to what the price is telling you to do because you haven't taken time to go watch the price action freaking video 600 times, right? And take the notes and write the little pictures. Okay, this is a long-legged doji. It looks like this. It's at resistance. This is an inverted hammer. It's usually at support. This is a hammer. So that support. Spinning tops can be at the top or the bottom, right? They can be at the top or the bottom. A hanging man's always going to be at the top. It's the balloon guy. That's the opposite of inverted hammer, right? What happens when I see a morning star, right? What does that mean? Do I have to have 2 candles on each side of my morning star? Why can I rattle this off, you guys? Because I've written them down like 100 times. when I first saw this, when I first saw price action, I was like, these guys are smoking dope. Like they're stoned because I don't see what they're looking at. All I see is a bunch of lines doing this on a chart, right? What happens when I see a whole bunch of candles with some wicks that are all pointing down? What does that mean? What does that mean? Do I panic and get in? Do I have FOMO? Am I afraid of getting into the trade? Or just like, wait a minute, what's that telling me when I have a bunch of wicks? They're all pointing down. What is that telling me? And I'm going to put a circle around it, put a note next to it on my trading view and say, okay, what does this mean? Right. And then because I don't have the answer, I can ask the question in the WhatsApp chat, or I can get on a call with Jess and say, Jess, I was looking at the S&P or my QQQ at this time frame in this time zone, and there was like multiple candles with all the wicks pointing down, and then it did this, and I'm trying to understand what was happening here because you honestly want to win. You're asking a very creative question that there's probably other people wanting the answer to as well, right? So income per trade, percent per balance, exit at a zone. When are you getting out? Continuing education, right? Attending live classes if your schedule permits. If you can't get into a live class, get your calendar out, put a square on it for at least an hour and put attend trading class, whatever day you want to choose that, right? Maybe you don't work on Thursdays and you've got 4 hours that you can sit in front of a computer and watch classes. Whatever works for you, make it work, but don't think that you're going to learn how to trade by watching video 1 and video 15 and video 6 and video 11 and you're done. It's not going to happen, right? Every time Jess is doing a class, except I missed like 2 Mondays ago. I don't know why, but I missed. Every time Jess is doing a class, I'm sitting in front of that class because every time she says something, I learn something, right? And I want to make sure that when it comes down to the point, I'm just as confident as she is to say, hey guys, here's a trade. Let's do this as rock and roll. Again, I see stuff different than Martin does. Martin sees stuff different than Deborah does. Deborah sees stuff different than Bawalia does. But that again, that's your learning process. If we all thought the same and think the same, then life would be sort of not fun, right? So you need to have that as part of your trading plan. Catching live replays. What days are you going to attend classes? And that's either attending the replays or attending live classes, or maybe it's both. You've got to have continuing education. You need to show up every single day until you're such a freaking awesome rock star trader that you don't need to do this anymore, right? You're so awesome. You can sit in front of your computer. You can analyze it for however long you need to analyze it. You can hit the go button. You make a big fat stack and boom, and then you go do whatever the heck you want to. And you're going to get to that point if you keep showing up. If you keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up, right? Woo! You guys having fun yet? Mindset. How do I feel when I lose? Honest question, right? How do I feel when I lose?
Terrible.
How does how does that affect me emotionally? How do I feel when I win? Right? How do I want to feel? Right? Am I feeling anxious? Am I feeling I love the fact that I just for some reason decided to go out to the 1 hour and look at 1 hour candles. It removed any kind of anxiety that I had because the 1 minute will mess your brain up. And I keep hearing people, well, the 1 minute sort of, and it was going in one ear and it wasn't sticking in the brain. And it takes time for all of us, right? So getting away from that and going out to the higher time frame really helped me feel less anxious, right? It really put a chill pill on me because I was looking at a completely different picture. And I'm like, this is sort of neat out here, right? This is sort of neat out in this zone, right? How do I want to feel? What am I choosing for myself today? What are you choosing for yourself today? Right? That's a question. Are you choosing to decide like, I'm gonna lose. This sucks. I'm no good at this. I stink. I can't figure this stuff out. Don't use the C word, right? Just don't use the C word at all, right? Use words like I'm an overcomer. I can believe anything. I can accomplish anything. If you're spiritual like I am, I can do anything through Christ Jesus. He's got my back. I'm on a mission for this. He knows what my plans are. He's going to assist me in this. If I can't find the right people and do the right things, he's going to put them in front of me. right? If I can't figure this plan out, he's going to put somebody in front of me to help me figure it out, right? And that's this whole team right here, right? I got you guys, and you guys helped me grow a lot. So, what am I choosing for myself today? Am I choosing to put myself out on an island because I've got a big ego? And if I come in here and say I don't know this stuff, somebody's going to put a billboard up on my local highway and tell people that I'm not smart enough to figure this out? No, no, take that crap out of your brain and throw it out, right? Don't let your ego edging God out, right? Don't let your ego stop you from growing and accomplishing your goals, because if you do that, you're never, ever, ever going to be an Elon Musk. And I'm not saying necessarily be him because he's got some funky stuff going on personally, but I'm talking about having a success process that says, I am successful. I'm going to do what it takes to win. I'm going to show up and I'm going to have my process. I'm going to have my personal goals. I'm going to have my spiritual goals. I'm going to have my family goals. I'm going to have my life goals. It's all going to be put in process. I know Martin and I talked a couple of years ago about a goal that he had with him and his wife. And I think that's freaking noble to be able to have that goal. Is how long is Martin willing to stick to that to accomplish that goal? And does he need to change course a little bit to get there? We all do, right? So what are we doing? What are we choosing for yourself today? And then are you journaling your process, right? Are you journaling your process? And what does that mean? Are you journaling and that's why we put in the WhatsApp chat how we feel. How did I feel? That's one of our questions. How did I feel when I won and I lost? How did, what did I learn? Right? That's part of journaling. And you should be taking that and putting it somewhere else, not just in WhatsApp chat, but putting it on maybe your daily log or your daily journal where you put your win and your loss, put those little notes over there on the side, right? You had a win, put it in have a comments column and post that in there so that you can go back and you can scroll through it and say, and maybe on your if you use a spreadsheet like me, when you have a funky day, maybe use a different color for funky day. Like I was feeling anxious today, maybe use an oddball color that you don't normally use. This is my funky day. Why was I feeling that day? Right? And then put a link to your chart, right? Put a link to your chart into your spreadsheet so that you can click on it. You can go look at the chart and go, huh, that's why I was feeling funky on that day, right? Because you put notes and you journal that way. Do whatever works for you. And again, be honest and don't compare yourself with anyone. So I'm done talking. Carol, I didn't see you jump on. Welcome. Welcome, welcome,
Hey,
welcome. Carol is hanging out. I invited her. She hasn't been quite enrolled yet, but I said, come and hang out with us, see what's going on. So she's hanging out with us tonight. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts? Anything I missed on trading plan? Or anything you feel should be added to the trading plan? Anything that you use in your trading plan that you would like to share with others that works for you? The floor is open.
Coach, I do want to say something about the trading hours. Did anybody else get a new agreement on their Thinkorswim about the extended trading hours?
I have not seen anything yet, but I haven't opened Thinkorswim since like Friday. So
Mine came on Friday. Mine came up on Friday. Like it logged me out of my Thinkorswim in the morning while I was looking up stuff, and then the whole big new agreement came, but it's so long that I couldn't. I mean, I just kind of signed it and logged back in because I wanted it was in the morning. But did anybody else get the new?
Now that I hadn't even thought of it until you mentioned it because I did like you. I saw it was a lot of stuff. I scrolled through it, I signed it, and I just moved on with my day.
Yeah, because it was a lot.
Yeah, but I totally put it out of my brain like I hadn't even when you first brought it up just now, I was like, no, I haven't seen it. And then once you explained what it was, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I did see that.
I'll have to I didn't get one. And it may have just been the fact that I don't know, maybe when I log in here,
Yeah, try to
you know,
log in before tomorrow because otherwise you
you know,
might have it might delay
log
you.
in and see what's going on with it. So, and I might have done a Martin where I just clicked on boom and moved on and didn't didn't think about it. So
Yeah, I mean, what I recall, the little that I did read on it, um, it just it seemed like as long as you're going to keep doing what you've always done, you know, just keep doing what you've normally done. Like, I don't think it didn't seem to me like it's going to have any impact on those of us who are, trading regular hours.
so and that's a good point. One thing that's very, very important as you're moving through your journey, right? And your trading plan. If you're going to adjust your trading plan, practice with the adjustment first, right? Practice with the adjustment first before you implement the adjustment on a live account. If you have a live account, and this was probably one of the best advice, I can't remember who gave it a couple of years back, but he said before you do something new, say for example, you've been trading USD JPY, right, on the Forex side, and you've been trading on a $5,000 account and you want to go up to a larger account. He says before you increase your lot size and go to a larger account, practice on a demo account for a week before you do that, right? So if you guys decide to trade on different time frame, a different day, stop your live account. Don't say stop it, but move over to your demo account and practice on that before you switch. I'm just I'm just going to say that because some people, for some reason, they want to do something different and expect to get the same results. A John Deere tractor does not drive like a Maserati, although they both have steering wheels and tires, right? So you need to practice. You need to practice, right? It's a great analogy. If you're moving from one deal to another deal, just make sure you practice and you understand what you're looking for. And I know with Thinkorswim, with Charles Schwab, they have an absolutely awesome customer support. If you have any questions about any changes they make, send them a question and say, hey, what's this change mean? I don't quite understand this. They will answer your question. Why? Because they're a big freaking multi-billion-dollar company and they don't want to get the SEC coming after them. So if you have any questions, make sure you're clear on anything that you do before you do anything. Just ask a question. It's not going to hurt at all. So great point, Boyd. Thanks for bringing it up. Anybody else have anything, any thoughts on trading plans, anything that you implement that you'd like to share with anybody else that I may have missed?
I would just say that, what you just presented was just by far and away the most comprehensive trading plan outline I've ever seen because I've looked at a lot of them from a lot of different educators and different courses I've taken, and most of them are just a tiny fraction of what you included in in this presentation just now. And even the plan that I put together for myself last week, I thought was really comprehensive. So so I just sat here and saw everything else that I could be including and should be, I think, including in it. So I'm going to be going back to the drawing board now. This was a really, really well done presentation. Like I said, it just it takes everything into consideration a whole lot more than I ever thought of before.
Well, I appreciate that. And you guys, I didn't pay him to say that. So just so you know, um,
I
one,
agree.
one thing I do want to say very, very quickly, and this is something if you're a new person and you're catching us on replay, and I'm going to share this screen with you because I think it's very, very important when I talk about going through classes as part of one of the slides, is go through the classes. They're very comprehensive. Jess doesn't leave any stone unturned. She's probably one of the best educators that I've ever had an opportunity to be in front of. And I attribute my success today in this trading plan I just put together because of her, right? And it just sort of all segmented in my head. And it's weird to shout somebody out like that, but it's I've had a lot of educators. Some of them are really good traders and really bad educators, right? There are some educators that are really good educators, but not really good traders. And sometimes if you can find one that's both, like Jess is, in between that pulls no punches and doesn't gatekeep anything, it's nice. So check this out, you guys. So this is the ECA. This is where our classes are at. She's got a trading plan down here. If you go into live trading sessions, you click on stocks LTS and you click on intro, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, this is the recent boot camp that we just did here at the top. But if you scroll all the way to the bottom, she's got a video down here that's about 25 minutes long that talks about a trading plan for the next 30 days. I would recommend you go watch this. I'm going to take the trading plan that we did today and I'm going to record it, upload it to YouTube, and then drop the video for us to share. Then I'm going to put it over on my resource list as well for you guys, so it's over there. But go watch this video just to see if there's anything that I missed that you guys can apply. Again, if you're brand new and you haven't done it yet, the first 3 videos are basically sort of the getting started videos, and number 4 is where you get really deep. You still need to do, the 2 and 3 video, because this is your software. This is the stuff you're going to need to actually trade and push the button. But these classes are phenomenal. Her advanced classes, the ones that we just did in November, right? Her November classes are freaking phenomenal. They're a little bit shorter and more to the point, but there's absolutely no reason why, if you go through and take your time to go through these classes, why you can't be a successful trader. You just have to give yourself grace and patience to do that. I don't know. Let's see what the calendar says. Yeah, she's going to be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. with a Q&A, and then she's going to be here at 8:10 on charting. I would recommend everybody at least be on this one here, because I know Martin's been doing his trading. And Martin, that's up to you. If you want to jump on her Q&A, you can, and we can, totally up to you for doing that. You can make that call, but Martin's been doing the live trading at 8:15 on Mondays and Tuesdays. But I'd recommend, at least on Tuesdays, that we all jump into this 8:10 class here for those of you that have excess. Sorry, guys, if you're not enrolled, we can't let you in here because that would be an ethics violation, and I'm not going there. So you got to be enrolled to see the live classes. You got to be enrolled to get into this ECA, but you're more than welcome to hang out with us when Martin and I are do live trading on Monday through Friday at 8:15. The only time that I know I'm going to skip is here when Jessica's doing her charting ideas on Tuesday here at 8:10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So, any questions, thoughts, inputs before we wrap this bad boy up? All right, I'm going to hit
Thank you
stop
for
recording.
doing this.
Yes.